Have you noticed something happening to physical media? 20 years ago, buying a DVD or Blu-ray was simple. You bought the movie and that was it. Today, that same movie might have 5 different collector's editions, steelbooks, limited editions, hard boxes, art cards, booklets, posters and slipcovers. And suddenly you're spending 50, 70, even over 100 for a single film. So here's the question. Are boutique labels preserving cinema, or are they simply selling collectors the same movies all over again? Let's talk about it today on the video. If you watch some of my previous videos, you'll know this channel has become a real hub for physical media collectors. In my recent video on 10 forgotten movies you can't stream anymore, it generated fantastic discussion, proving there's still huge interest in owning films rather than relying on streaming. And that's why today's topic feels like the perfect follow-up. Because while physical media might be shrinking on the supermarket shelves, something fascinating is happening at the premium end of the market. Boutique labels aren't just keeping physical media alive, they're redefining what collecting means. But are these editions actually worth what we're paying? Let's dive in. So what is a boutique label? For anyone new to collecting, boutique labels aren't the major Hollywood studios. Instead, they're companies that specialise in restoring, preserving and celebrating films. Labels like Criterion Collection, Arrow Video, Vinegar Syndrome, Second Sight, 88 Films, Eureka, Severin and Radiance. They're often releasing films the studios have forgotten, cult classics, horror movies, foreign cinema and independent films. Even obscure movies that many people assume would never receive another release. These companies aren't just simply putting a movie onto a disc. They're commissioning new artwork, scanning original camera negatives in 4K, producing documentaries, recording new commentaries, writing collectors' booklets, interviewing cast and crew, and sometimes they create the definitive version of a film. And for movie lovers, that's incredibly exciting. Why are people paying so much? Let's be honest, a boutique edition can cost 3 or 4 times more than a standard Blu-ray. So why are collectors happy to pay? Because you're buying much more than the movie itself. You're buying presentation, packaging, artwork, exclusivity. And perhaps most importantly, you're buying something that feels special. Opening a premium collector's edition has become part of the experience. The rigid box, the smell of fresh print, the artwork, the booklet, the soundtrack CD, the lobby cards. It's almost like opening a luxury product. For many collectors, that's worth paying for. The fear of missing out factor. But there's another side to this. Limited editions, numbered copies, only available while stocks last. We've all seen it. Suddenly collectors panic. Should I buy it now? Will it sell out? Will it double in value? Will I regret waiting? Now, boutique labels understand collectors' psychology incredibly well. Scarcity creates urgency, and urgency creates sales. Some releases disappear within days. Others end up selling for 3 or 4 times their original retail price. We've all seen those out-of-print releases listed for ridiculous amounts online. The fear of missing out has become a huge part of modern collecting. But are they really worth the money? Now here's where opinions divide. If you're buying one of your favourite films, A premium edition might be absolutely worth every penny. But if you're buying every limited edition simply because it's limited, you may be collecting packaging more than movies. And there's nothing wrong with that, if that's what brings you joy. But it's worth asking yourself, would I still buy this if it came in a standard Blu-ray case? If the answer is no, then maybe you're paying for rarity rather than the film itself. So why do boutique labels matter? Despite the premium prices, I genuinely believe boutique labels are doing something incredibly important. They're preserving film history. They're rescuing forgotten movies. They're restoring classics that studios no longer prioritise. And without these companies, many films might simply disappear. Streaming services rotate content constantly. Licenses expire. Movies vanish overnight. A boutique release gives that film a permanent home. That's something worth celebrating. So what's my take on this? Personally, I love boutique releases. Some of my favourite editions in my collection come from labels like Arrow, Second Sight and Vinegar Syndrome, but I've also become much more selective. These editions aren't cheap anymore, so nowadays I ask myself 3 questions before buying. Do I genuinely love the film? Will I actually watch the extras? Will I still appreciate this edition 5 years from now? If the answer is yes, then it's usually worth the investment. So, are boutique labels worth the premium? I think the answer depends on why you collect. If you're collecting movies, you don't always need the biggest box. But if you love film preservation, beautiful packaging and special features, boutique labels offer something streaming never can. Now, I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments. What's the most expensive collector's edition you've ever bought? And do you think it was worth it? If you've enjoyed this discussion, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one, where we'll continue celebrating everything physical media. Thanks for watching. See you next time.